Early polling is starting to trickle in after US President Joe Biden and Donald Trump's first presidential debate, and it doesn't look like good news for the incumbent. Following Thursday night, when Biden's shaky performance unnerved top donors and voters alike, one survey found Democratic-leaning voters are now less likely to swing for Biden in November's election. The share of Democrats who do not think Biden should be running for re-election jumped 10 points, according to a separate poll. Here are the details for you.
Let's make some noise one more time for President Joe Biden!
At 81, Biden is the oldest person to hold office in the history of the United States. And having already faced scrutiny over his age and ability to run in this year's elections, Friday's presidential debate was meant to serve as a saving grace for Biden to prove his capability to perform as a leader.
What I do know, I know how to tell the truth.
Biden fails to impress the voters. There is now tremendous pressure on him to quit the presidential race.
The question every voter should be asking themselves today is not whether Joe Biden can survive a 90-minute debate performance, but whether America can survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden in the White House. In fact, I don't know if we can really survive 5 more months.
Come here today.
Joe Biden is yet to be confirmed as the nominee, and after his performance at the debate, the question on everyone's mind is whether he is truly fit to run. And if not, who will Trump be running against? A new poll has found Vice President Kamala Harris as the top choice to replace President Joe Biden should he abandon his re-election campaign. A Data for Progress flash poll conducted on Friday found Harris was the most popular choice to replace Joe Biden. The poll surveyed 1,011 US likely voters, including 387 Democratic likely voters, and has a margin of error of 3 percentage points. The poll revealed that 39% of Democratic respondents would choose Kamala Harris if the Democratic Party was to hold a convention to find a replacement to Biden. California Governor Gavin Newsom's name is doing the rounds as a possible replacement. Newsom is known to support the Democrats outside of his home state. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who has been in favor of stricter gun laws, repealing abortion bans, and backing universal preschool, has long been seen as a potential successor to Biden. Whitmer has already hinted at her interest in the presidency in the past by saying that she would see voters in 2028. In recent tweets, Republicans have also shared their predictions. Republican U.S. lawmaker Ted Cruz highlighted his past speculation of former First Lady Michelle Obama replacing Biden as president. And former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has expressed that Biden will be replaced by a younger and more vibrant candidate. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has shown no signs of dropping out of the presidential race and continues to vouch for his candidacy.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious. Well, I know. Well, I don't. Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. Folks, I give you my word as a Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. Because quite frankly, the stakes are too high. The stakes are too high.
With Samya Afsar, Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV. And for the latest from Ground Zero, we have with us Andrew Cluster, live from New York. Andrew's also the Deputy Chief was the Deputy Chief Analytics Officer for President Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. Thanks so much, Andrew, for making time for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Many experts actually predicted that the first post-debate surveys are likely to overstate the magnitude of Biden's decline, just as they oversold his lead after his first debate against Donald Trump 4 years ago. What's your take, Andrew?
So, at this stage, it's one bad debate performance. I think that there's certainly the possibility of recovery, and I don't think Biden should be counted out yet. Although certainly, the latest news cycle over the past couple of days since the debate has helped Trump and hurt Biden. I think it is Biden is difficult to replace for reasons that are both technical and political. The technical reasons, one, it would be easiest if Biden were to step aside. There's no sign of that happening. If he did, if he were pressured to step aside or decided to step aside, then the Democratic National Committee would have to either change the rules or implement existing rules to select a new candidate.
Right.
And there's no consensus among who that candidate should be. The survey that you just showed that the leading candidate, Kamala Harris, who is the best known candidate, is supported by less than half of those who were surveyed as Biden's replacement.
Right.
So it's not at all clear that there's someone waiting in the wings who would be a consensus choice. And it's also not at all clear that whoever is selected would win more votes than Biden. So it would be challenging to pull off, but not impossible.
An exciting run-up to the November election indeed. Top party members are not denying that Biden had a bad night, but they've increasingly pointed to other factors beyond Biden's age or cognitive abilities to argue that the US president isn't to fault for his debate performance, including that he was actually over-prepared, that CNN moderators didn't adequately fact-check Trump, and that his most senior advisors are responsible for his weak showing. But Andrew, even though Joe Biden's cognitive and physical fitness has left quite an impression not just on US respondents but world over, what do you think the plan of action will be over the next few days? Are Democrats finding more talking points to shift the discussion away from Biden?
Yeah, I think that, the reality is that Trump misspeaks and says things that are inaccurate or untrue far more frequently than Biden, but it is Biden is held to a higher standard than Trump. For voters who are looking for competence are concerned about Biden's performance. Voters who are looking for competence in the White House are not Trump supporters. They were never Trump supporters. So that's why misspeaking is a bigger problem for Biden than it is for Trump.